To be fair, and we'll move on to the more advanced central midfield option here. Clearly, Jeff's been taking notice because if you believe everything you read on socials, and to be fair, Fabrizio Romano has tweeted on this subject specifically in the last 24 hours. We're going to touch on the Portuguese international from Sporting, Matheus Nunes. I think at the time that you published this, I was kind of on the fence of I don't think this is actually a realistic option for us. Pep Guardiola's name checked him specifically in a Champions League tie early this season, called him out as world class. Whether that was kind of a plea to appeal to Nunes as a potential signing this summer, who knows? But it appears to be the case that we are in for Matheus Nunes of Sporting. 23-year-old Portugal international, sits kind of to the left of a central midfield. And the other thing that struck me about this, Dan, was the fact that he currently plays in a 3-4-3. So do you think that would... Well, I know we're talking in the terms of a back four here, but do you think that aids him in the sense that maybe Bruno can alleviate the concerns of transitioning away and the risks that come with that by bringing in players who just maybe play with a different profile and a bit of different style?
Yeah, I think if you're making a transition from one system to the other, if you've got players who are flexible enough to sort of go from one to the other easily enough, that's going to make things a lot easier. It's not going to be plain sailing if we do it, right? So there are probably going to be times in games and probably specific games as well where we have to go back to a back three. And if that's the case, then it is reassuring to know that someone like a Nunes has played in that sort of system previously. In a four, though, you sort of release him and you just let him do what he wants to do, sort of thing. He's that talented. You don't let him get too bogged down in the defensive work or anything like that. You just let him have the ball and create, progress it, dribble with it, operate in those sorts of tight areas that we've not had a player to do that in God knows how long. Like you say, I thought when I published this, I thought he was also out of our reach. And the only reason I really included him was because there had been sort of rumblings that we might have a chance. I don't know how slim that chance was. And I think I said it in the verdict sort of section. This is the equivalent to us signing Neves in the Championship, right? This is the statement signing. If we do it, I think it's a proper show of intent from Fosun to say, right, we're back investing in the club again, and this is us showing you that we're doing that. The numbers sort of speak for themselves. The guy's not really got a hole in this game for the sort of role we're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of compared it. There was a few questions flying around the WhatsApp chat about who he is and and the way he plays. I kind of compared him to one of my favourite players of all time, to be honest, in Moussa Dembele, but not necessarily as powerful as him, but able to, this new kind of midfielder that everybody seems to be looking for again. That press resistant player who, in the heat of the moment can take a second, can work his way out of difficult situations, and ultimately then open up the final third of the pitch, which is where I think we've really struggled, because I still think we have enough talent at the top end of the pitch, as evidenced in kind of the fact that we're not looking for maybe a number 10, we're not looking for a winger here within this window. I think there's enough talent there to take advantage of certain situations, but someone like Nunes would allow the pitch to be opened up in the final third for those guys to go and kind of take advantage of those situations. I mean, we're talking probably club record fee if this is to happen. Do we think he changes our game to that extent as well?
I think everything that's been said so far is perfect for him. I think he is that statement signing. I think he's the one who can really change what we do as a football club and the way we play our game, because he is this complete rounded midfielder, to just throw in the term. But he does carry the ball well. He passes the ball well. His defensive side is good. It's very good for a player who goes box to box, and he creates a lot of chances. The only thing that he hasn't done in recent times is score enough goals. But he's within a Sporting side that has some incredible talents up front. players such as Pope, who was at Wolves, and we're not still upset about that, but it's my only issue with him and us potentially signing him is Sporting could lose 3 of their major signings this season. João Palhinha, Matheus Nunes, and Pope as well. So it's whether they'll be willing to let all 3 of them go or 2 of them go. And I think to actually get them, like you said, we've got to spend a lot of money. We're talking 45 million euros. That is a lot of money that we haven't seen come from Fosun in recent times. But if they did get him, he would elevate what we do. And I think a lot of what he does and what he could do as a player would be similar to what João Moutinho was doing 10 years ago. And I think he's that sort of player and that sort of profile. And he would just elevate the way that we could dominate games from midfield, which is what's been missing the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, I know the kind of premise around identifying all the players that you've done, Dan, is to kind of show that there is a path away from George Mendes and his kind of cabal of players. But given that he is of such quality, given that it seems we might have a bit of a favour in Mendes's pocket to cash in, how frustrating would you be frustrated by the fact that we're still going back into this kind of method, or would you just take what you can?
I think if you get the chance to sign someone like that, you just do it, right? I get it, and look, I think you and I are pretty well aligned on this. We'd like to move away from that Mendes model, but it's difficult. I'd like to move away from it, but when you get the chance to sign someone like Nunes, who by rights should be playing in the Champions League next season, without doubt, you just do it. Especially if you're getting given the chance for a player that might be worth double what we pay for him in about 2 to 3 years' time. I'd still like us to move away from that model, and I think the sooner we do that, the better. But if we can sort of squeeze one last bit out of it, then this is probably the player to do it for.
I wonder if you know we have that signing that elevates us to that higher level, and whether we become that really attractive proposition of a club to a higher standard of player off the back of it. I guess that's the holy grail, isn't it? That we become a bit more of an established European outfit, and we don't need to continue to go back to Mendes for deals and things.